you're causing climate and culture problems. If you're having Toyota staff meetings, that's when your principal has a staff meeting about something real important, and then afterwards you go in the parking lot by the Toyotas and have another staff meeting with your friends and talk about what the principal just talked about. You know you do that because you didn't know what it was called. And you're causing climate and culture problems, and you've got to be able to get on the same page, and it's not hard. This topic is absolutely the most important topic for you to get on the same page about. Because if you're not on the same page with this topic, you're going to end up having a miserable school year.
Very important in all schools across the nation and probably the world, and that is staff bathroom etiquette. Some of us need a lesson. First, number one, is there is a lock on the door for a reason. Make sure you click the bathroom lock. If you don't hear click, it's not locked. It is very traumatizing to walk in on a staff member in the bathroom. Next, when the toilet paper is gone, call the custodian. Don't just leave and not tell anyone, because the next person that comes in doesn't realize there's no toilet paper, and it causes some stress. Call the custodian. Next, if you share a bathroom, males and females, and you have fluffied up that bathroom with lace and flowers and generic lumberburger baskets, put something manly in there so the men will feel welcome, like a bobblehead, or a superhero poster. You want to feel welcome too. If you happen to have bathrooms, one's for men's and one's for women's, don't yell at the men when there is a line at the women's bathroom. That is not our fault. Let's not try to sneak into the men's bathroom. If you snuck into the ladies' bathroom, you would say gross. So stop sneaking into the men's bathroom. Gross. Most important, air freshener, don't make the air freshener. So stop spraying 42 seconds worth of air freshener. It's just making things worse. And as it pertains to that rule, if you have Taco Tuesday in your house, Wednesday might be a good day for you to get a doctor's appointment so you can be off school.
That video came out from you walking in on a substitute teacher with your skirt hiked up sitting on the toilet because she forgot to lock the bathroom door. You know, when she came out, I said, "You're a great sub, but you can't teach at this school anymore." I'm sorry. And as funny as that is, it's extremely important that we get on the same page, because when you're not, then you're causing climate and culture problems. People say, "Well, you've already talked about large staff, and it's really hard to get on the same page," but it's not. Let me tell you what the key is. So I love this activity. So pick a number between 1 and 10 in your head, multiply it by 9. I'll give a minute for the kindergarten teachers. So multiply by 9. Now, separate your digits and add them together. If you got 23, you would add a 2 and a 3. So separate your digits and add them together. Subtract 5. Now you're going to make your number into a letter. If you had a 1, it's an A, 2 is a B, 3 is a C. If you had a 4, it's a D. So now, change your number into a letter. Pick a country that starts with your letter. Hold on. Pick an animal that begins with the second letter of your country. So we've got 800 educators here. It's hard to get on the same page, and yet raise your hand if you've got Denmark. So here's what happens when I do that. I know some of you are going to get lost on that. When I do that, 95% of you get Denmark and elephant. 2% of you get Denmark and another animal like eagle or emu. 1% of you are like, whatever, it's Saturday, I'm not going to fly nothing. And then several of you, always using 1%, get what I got, which is the ADHD answer, which is Djibouti Jaguar. ADHD people in the audience. You can Google Denmark elephant game. It's always going to come the same way. Use it with your kids, and I love that because it talks about how easy it is and shows how easy it is for us all to get on the same page. So let me tell you what the key is that you can share with your school. So I'm a neighborhood school. At our school's a neighborhood school. We have 750 kids. They all live within a 4-mile radius of our school. Because of that, we have 19 buses. 4 years ago, we had a knockdown, drag-out, cussing, kicking match between two 80-year-old bus drivers. That's right, I said kicking. One of them kicked the other one because they both wanted to be the first in line in the bus line. And they started arguing about it. So we get out of school at 2:45. They started coming at 2:15 to try to get up there. And then they started coming at 1:45. And then they started coming at 1:30. And earlier and earlier. it finally culminated into this big, huge fighting match when one of them started dropping his bus off at 6 a.m., at 9 a.m. after his morning route and having a friend pick him up so that his bus would be first in line. Yeah, and it culminated into this big fight that the kids thought was hilarious, and I did not. And when I went out there and asked them what was going on, one of the bus drivers said, if I'm not first in line, then I'm 10 minutes late to pick up my wife from dialysis. Do you know how easy that would have been solved? Communication. Do you know how easy it is for your school to get on the same page? Communication. You see, it's perfectly acceptable for you to plan with your team and go do something else. Do you know why? Because the 25 kids you're teaching are completely different than the 25 kids that your colleagues have. But it's not okay not to communicate that. You just plan with them and say, hey, this is a great activity. My kids are not quite there yet. I'm going to change it this way. Or I've got a whole lot of boys in my social studies class. This is not going to be a high interest activity or article. I'm going to see if I can find something that boys would be more interested in. And it's absolutely okay when you communicate. But you've got to get on the same page, and I really hope that you will share that with your staff. Communication is the key to getting on the same page, and it's not hard as long as you're talking with each other. And we got to understand the importance of mentors. We know that as teachers, we have student teachers all over the place. So when I stepped into Liberty, we were novice non-performing. The year I got there, we moved to proficient because of small changes. The next year we moved to distinguished, and for the past 6 years, we've been distinguished with distinction, which is the stupidest award they can give you. That's what they give you. Lexington is very unique in Kentucky that within a 20-mile radius of Lexington, there are 5 major universities, and all 5 major universities have teacher colleges. So when the universities started recognizing how great our teachers were, they started begging us to get student teachers in our building. This year we have 29 student teachers in our building right now. Well, I don't know if you've ever met a student teacher or not. They are called mixed blessings because they can either make you or they can break you. And it's not their fault, it's the university's fault because the university is not teaching the one class that they need to know, Common Sense 101. So they're coming in with a lack of common sense, but it's really not even the university's fault because you can't teach common sense. You have to experience common sense. So I kept thinking, well, how do we fix that? So I fixed it with some videos for the universities.
New video series for colleges and universities to use when training student teachers called nonverbal cues. A nonverbal cue is something a teacher uses to help control classroom management without actually speaking. That's the reason it's nonverbal. The first in the series is on assembly nonverbal cues using finger eyeballs. Finger eyeballs is when you point to your eyes and first is the kicky fingers that you use to help control your entire classroom. You just point to your eyeballs and kicky finger towards the thing you're watching. Next is for a specific group of students that might be misbehaving. You use the circle poke, point your eyeballs, point to that group of students, circle and poke. And lastly, for an individual student that may be having some problems, you do the slow-mo poke. Slowly point to your eyes, point to that student, and poke. The finger eyeballs, you will master the first lesson in nonverbal cues.
That video came out when our student teachers continued to march all the way up our loud bleachers in the middle of a 4th grade play to try to control the kids at the top. And really all they had to do was do like that. But they just did not know that. And so we understand the importance of student teachers and helping them out. But I want to go above and beyond this. Now you're probably not going to believe me about this, but there's somebody at your school that does something better than you. I know, right? You're thinking, no, there's no way. There is. And by the same token, you do something better than people at your school. So if you want to become a school of positive climbing culture and you want to grow in your profession, you find someone that's doing something better than you and you ask them for help. It doesn't even have to be anything big. You can say, Miss Smith, I've noticed that when you move your kids through the hallway, they never say a word. You're never distracting anybody else's classroom. They're all walking the way they're supposed to. You're not having to throw out stars or dum-dums or threaten their recess. You're doing exactly what you expect, and I struggle with that every year. Can you tell me how you're setting your kids up for success? Because I need some help there. And when you open yourself up to vulnerability with the colleagues sitting around you, and you say, I see you're doing something good, can you help me? I guarantee you in 3 or 4 weeks, Miss Smith's going to walk by your student display of work outside your classroom, and she's going to go, hey, I noticed that your poetry unit is a little bit higher than mine. How are you teaching poetry? And you've developed a sense of mentoring between 2 of you because the people you should be learning from are sitting around you and across the hall from you, not scholastic. They ain't been in the classroom in 14 years. quit going to class with the lady. So we got to find mentors, and that requires you to be able to reach out to someone that's doing something better than you, and I guarantee it will start being reciprocal. And we got to stick together. At the beginning of this session.